Hey everyone, welcome or welcome back to my channel. Today I've got some super easy food gifts to share with you that everyone will love. So if you want to know how to make them, stick around. I'll show you how. Thank y'all so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Right, Maxwell? Okay, for this one we're going to use some old-fashioned oats, and I'm not using quick cooking oats, just regular oats, and I'm going to use 4 cups. Now I'm going to put 3 cups in my bowl, and I'm going to reserve 1 cup I'm going to put it into a grinder and grind it up. Just put about 3 cups in here and then save a cup to grind it up. You could use a food processor or a blender. I'm just using a coffee grinder to grind mine up. You're grinding it till it's like a powder. You're going to mix that up real well. Okay, next I'm adding some flaxseed meal. Now this is optional. You don't have to do this. I'm adding a 1/2 cup, and this is real good for your digestive system. It's also good for heart and blood pressure. And just mix that in real well till it's completely mixed in with the oats. Okay, then I'm adding a 1/2 cup of light brown sugar. Now I'm adding this pack, so go ahead and pack it down into your measuring cup because you want to make sure that it's packed brown sugar, a 1/2 cup. And then start mixing in with the oatmeal till it's completely blended. So I'm going to add a 1/2 teaspoon of just regular table salt, and then I'm adding 2 teaspoons of ground cinnamon. And then just blend all that together. That's pretty much easy. Okay, next I got these jars at Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to fill them up. Now this batch made 2 for this container. This container I think is about 16 ounces. If you want to do a smaller container, like an 8 ounce, you could get 4 out of this batch. And just kind of mix them up a little bit. Just kind of shake them just to kind of make sure everything's blended well. Okay, for the tags, I've given you those in the description below. You can just download it and print them, and I'm just printing mine on some craft paper. I'm using a cellophane bag that measures 7 inches by 13 inches. I'll give you the link for these in the description below. And I'm just going to place my jar right down into the very bottom of this. This was plenty big for the Dollar Tree jars. I'm just going to shake it all the way down into the bottom, and then I'm going to tuck in the very corners on the bottom part of my bag. So kind of fold them over and tape them in so that you don't have little tabs sticking out there on the side. Just kind of cleans it up a little bit. Okay, then I got these jars on Amazon. They're for overnight oatmeal. So you put your oatmeal and your milk or your water in here and then overnight, and then you can just heat it up the next day. They're pretty cool little jars. And I'm going to put brown crinkle paper inside of these, and I'm going to put some candies on top. And they come with that nice little spoon, so they already have something to eat with. And I'm just going to pull my spoon all the way down, put it in top of here, and then I'm just going to tape this shut on top. Just kind of smooth it out a little bit, and then we're going to add a label here in just a second as well. And then I got this sheet of labels for you to download and print out. This is a 2.5 inch circle if you have a 2.5 inch circle punch, or you can just cut it out by hand. It just kind of cleans up the top part of the little bag to kind of hide all those all the tape. And I'm just rolling up some tape to put on here and then just covering up the top. Just taking some blue satin ribbon, and I'm just going to come all the way to the top part of the jar and tie this into a bow. Now, a lot of you ask me where I get my ribbon. All my ribbon that's like this, I get it at Paper Mart. You get a pretty good size roll for pretty inexpensive, and it lasts for so long. Okay, so I'm tying my ribbon there, and then I'm going to tie one into the center just to kind of hold this all together to make it a little bit more firm. Just kind of tighten it up there, and then tie a bow there. And then I'm going to take some baker's twine to attach my tag, and I'm going to loop it right up underneath that blue ribbon. This really did just dress these little jars up a lot. And just tie it up underneath there, and then tie it into a knot. All right, look how pretty that is. Okay, for this one, I'm going to make some granola, and I'm going to use the same old-fashioned oats, and I'm going to use 4 cups. Okay, now last year I made some granola that's similar to this, but this uses a lot less ingredients in it, so it's a little bit more budget friendly. And then I'm going to use 1 cup of sliced almonds. Then I'm adding 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And then just blend that all up together real well. Okay, next in a small saucepan, I'm going to add 1/2 cup of packed light brown sugar. And then I'm going to add 1/2 cup of regular honey. And you can use any kind of honey you want to. And then I've given you the recipe for all these in the description below. You can just download them. You don't have to try to remember. And then you're going to add 1/4 cup of just regular olive oil. And then you're going to blend that up real well, and you're going to cook that on the stove until all the sugar is dissolved. Pour it into your oatmeal mixture, and you're going to blend it up real well until every bit of it is coated. So kind of take your time on this. Make sure that you do get it well coated. You want every bit of that to be coated. Okay, then once you get it completely coated, you're going to put it on a parchment-lined cookie sheet, and then you're going to bake it in the oven at 250 degrees, and you're going to stir it every 15 minutes. And then try to spread it out there where you got an even layer. Okay, then after 15 minutes, you're going to start stirring it up. Now, once it gets to about the 4th 15 minutes, you are going to kind of have to crumble it up with your hands a little bit because it is going to be kind of a little bit more solid. I just put mine in a Ziploc bag until I was ready to put it in my jars, and that's how much that one batch made. And I'm pouring it into some little Dollar Tree jars that I got, and it did fill 4 jars. This is a pretty inexpensive little gift to give, and it tastes so good. But you want to make sure that you are using an airtight container. And just place your lids on them, and then we'll decorate them. Go ahead and cut out your tags, and then I'm taking an 80 milliliter ornament. This is a half ornament, and I'm filling it up with some candy, and then I'm going to connect it together and then just tie a ribbon on the front. This kind of just adds some little height to your packaging, and it didn't cost so much to do. Using those same 7 by 13 bags, and I'm going to tuck my corners in on this one as well. It just kind of cleans it up a little bit. And then I'm placing my ornament right in top, and I'm going to tie this up super tight so that ornament stays centered on top of that jar. The tighter you get it, it won't wiggle around. And then I'm just going to tie a ribbon around the front, and then I'm going to add my tag. All of these are pretty simple today. They don't take that much work to do, and they turn out really pretty. Just spend a little bit of time color coordinating with your packages. That's what really makes these look good. For this one, we're going to make some candied almonds, and we're going to start with 3/4 cup of sugar, and then we're going to use 1 teaspoon of salt, and I'm using just a kosher salt. You want to use either a sea salt or a kosher salt, something like that. And then we're going to use 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. This is going to be our dry mixture. We're going to mix this all up together, blend it well, and then we're going to mix our liquids in another container. Just get 2 teaspoons in there, and then just really stir it up good. In another bowl, you're going to take 1 egg white, and you just want the white of the egg. You don't want the yolk in here. And then we're going to add 1½ teaspoons of vanilla. And then whisk that up real good. You want to make sure that it's frothy. So kind of spend some time on this, get it really whipped up good. And then I'm using whole almonds in this, and I'm going to add 2 cups of these. Now this big bag is a 3-pound bag. I got it at Sam's. If you do this bag, if you want to make the entire thing, this will make 2½ recipes of this, which is quite a bit. And then just mix those up real good to get them evenly coated. You want to make sure that each one of those little almonds is coated. Now you could use this same recipe for walnuts or pecans. Either one will work. And then pour it into your powdered mixture and then blend that up real well. You want to make sure that every single one of those is coated well. Next, I'm going to cover a cookie sheet with some parchment paper. You could just grease the cookie sheet if you wanted to, and then spread your nuts out there evenly. Just kind of make sure that they're spread out evenly, and then we're going to bake these at 250 degrees for 1 hour, stirring every 15 minutes. And then between every 15 minutes, they do start to stick together a little bit. So once you get them completely done, you can just kind of break them apart. I just stored these in a Ziploc bag till I got ready to package them. And then I'm using these 7 by 15 inch triangular bags. I'll give you the link for these on Amazon. They're pretty good size. And I'm just going to fill them full. And I ended up filling 8 of these with this one bag. And I'm just using a regular measuring cup. Shake them all the way down to the bottom so you can make sure your point gets full. And then just keep filling them up till you have all 8 of them full. I'm just securing the top with a clear rubber band. I'll give you the link for these. I use these for all of my packaging. Just make sure you get it pretty tight. And to package these, I've given you the tags in the description below. You can just download it and print them. And I just printed mine on craft paper. And to decorate these, I'm taking some black and white baker's twine. I'll give you the link for this. You get it on Amazon. It's a pretty good size roll. And I'm going to tie a knot right around the top part of my package. And then I'm adding some greenery and some orange slices. I'm just running it right up underneath the little limbs at the bottom part there. Just grab 2 of them up there and then tie that off. And if you want to know how to make the orange slices, stay tuned to the end of the video. I have a video showing you how to do these. Once you get it tied, kind of shape it along the side of the bag so it does kind of just roll down the side. And then add your orange slice right through the center. And then we're going to add a tag right to the top, and it'll hold all this together. Greenery and then the orange slices really do add to your packaging. And then I'm just going to punch a hole in the corner. I'm going to run my baker's twine through, and then I'm just going to tie a little bow on the top. This was pretty easy, and they turned out so pretty. Okay, for this next gift, we're going to use some paprika. We are making some spicy barbecue rub. We're going to start with 1/2 cup of paprika. Now, you can buy your seasonings at Dollar Tree. It's pretty cost effective if you do. Okay, then we're going to add 1/2 cup of a packed light brown sugar. Now, this rub is really good for anything. It's good for beef, chicken, and pork. So this is something that you could give to somebody that likes to barbecue. It's a real cost-effective gift, and it lasts a long time. And you do want to pack your sugar down. And don't skip on this part because the sugar is what really makes this good. And just add that to the paprika. And then we're going to start adding our seasonings. We're going to put 1 tablespoon of pepper, or just regular black pepper, ground pepper. Then I'm adding 1 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, and that's just a 1/2 teaspoon measuring device right there. So I'm using 2. You could leave this out if you don't want it to be spicy. I'm adding 1 tablespoon of onion powder. Now, you don't have to remember all this because you can just print the recipe below. 1 tablespoon of garlic powder. And mine actually had some parsley in it. And then I'm going to use 1 tablespoon of chili powder. Now, you can use chipotle chili powder or regular chili powder. I'm using the chipotle chili powder. I'm adding 1 tablespoon of kosher salt. And you could use regular table salt on this if you wanted to. And then just blend all that up really well. Spend some time blending it. I mean, like at least a minute of stirring time because you want to make sure that you get all that incorporated together. And make sure that you get all the lumps of the brown sugar out if you have any, because you want this to be a smooth mixture. Then I got these little mason shooter jars on Amazon. I'll give you the link for those. And this recipe ended up filling 6 of these. But just make sure that you do wash them. Then I'm just taking a spoon to fill these up, and I'm filling these up pretty full. So you get 6 full jars out of this. I think those are about 2-ounce jars. And this rub will last a long time. Just wiping the outside of my jars and the top part with a paper towel and putting my lid on. Pretty easy. Go ahead and download and print your labels. And then we're going to take some checkered material. You can use any kind of cotton you want to, and some pinking shears. And just cut a circle out to go onto the top of the jar. I'm just taking a clear rubber band to put around the top just to hold it all together. Dress it up a little bit. I'm just going to take a red ribbon, tie it around the front, and tie it in a bow. It's just the little things that make these little packages look so cute. Okay, then I'm taking these little 3x3x3 plastic boxes that I got on Amazon, and I'm just going to put this inside of this. Now, if you invest in these end up costing about 33 cents a piece. You get them on Amazon. You get 45 of them for around $14, but you can wrap so many packages with these. And then I'm just going to add a little bit of crinkle paper down to the bottom part, and I'm going to leave the front edge open so I can put my little jar down in there so you can still see it around the crinkle paper. And then I got these little wooden spoons on Amazon. I'm going to just add one of those in top, and then I'm just going to tie it up and tie a ribbon around the top part. This was a pretty quick and easy one, and you can make a lot of these real quick. This is a real good gift to give because it's real inexpensive, and you can make quite a few of these. I'm just adding my tag with some of the black and white baker's twine. This next one's super easy. I'm just going to use 1¼ cup of honey, and I'm putting in these little mason jars that I got at Hobby Lobby. They're the same size as the ones I just used for the rub, and they're about 2 ounces, so I'm going to make 6 of these. And I'm just using just a regular honey. This one's a raw honey that I got at Kroger, but you can use any kind of honey that you want to. But you start with a 1¼ cup if you're going to make 6 of these. Then I'm adding 2 teaspoons of just regular ground cinnamon. And then just blend that up by hand until it's completely mixed together. Then you're just going to take a mixer and you're just going to blend this up. Now you can use a hand mixer or you can use a tabletop mixer, but you're going to spend 15 minutes doing this. So if you have a tabletop mixer, I would recommend doing that. But you want to make sure that you get this blended up, and you want to take the time to do it for 15 minutes. It'll start to get a little frothy and a little bit more light, but the longer that you whip it up, the lighter that it gets. Next, I'm just going to fill my jars. Now, if you fill your jars this way and kind of spin your spoon around while you're doing this, because it is kind of thick, you can do this without any mess. Just kind of spin it around and then put it in there. It'll hold on there for a minute if you do spin it, and then fill it up. And you can use whipped honey as a spread. It's great in beverages, like if you can put a little spoonful of it in your coffee. It's great on fruit. It's great on desserts. It's also great on a charcuterie board with cheese. It blends with that real well. So you can use this for a lot of different things. Make sure you are using an airtight container. And just like the barbecue rub, I'm just going to take some pinking shears, cut a little circle out of some cotton fabric. And the check fabric is really cute on all these little jars. I'm just putting this on the top of it with a little rubber band to hold it in place. And then I'm going to tie a piece of jute rope around the front of it to kind of give it a little bit of a rustic feel. And then I'm just going to tie that into a bow. Next, I got these little packs of truffles from Dollar Tree. And then I'm using a little pretzel bag and some little wooden spoons. And I'm just going to drop them down into the bag, and I'm going to cut the top part off. This kind of just dresses up your package a little bit and adds something a little bit extra to it. Then I'm going to take some red ribbon. I'm just going to tie it around the spoons down at the bottom and tie it into a bow. It's just little things that you can add to your packages that actually make it look so pretty. Packaging, I'm taking a 7x13 bag. I'm just going to add my candy to the side, put my little jar of honey down at the side here, my spoons down behind it, and then I'm going to add a little bell to the top part just to kind of give it a little bit of jingle. And then I'm just going to tie it up at the top and tie a ribbon around the top. And I'm just going to use my rubber bands again to hold all this together until I tie it off. And I'm tucking my corners in with some clear tape. It just kind of dresses it up a little bit, kind of finishes it out. And then I'm going to tie a green ribbon right around the top. Now these satin ribbons, again, you get these at Paper Mart, and you get a huge roll of these. I mean, these last for years. And I'll give you the link for Paper Mart down in the description below. I'm just going to attach my ribbon with some baker's twine. This one was pretty easy too. If you're going to do the oranges, the sliced oranges for your decor, I'm just cutting off one end. I'm taking a little guillotine slicer. It comes with this little holder to hold your fruit, and it comes with a glove that is cut proof, and it cuts each one of them exactly the same. And then I'm going to dehydrate these. I'm using a dehydrator to do this. You can put them in the oven at 200 degrees for 3 to 5 hours, turning them every 30 minutes. Okay, I hope you enjoyed the video today. I hope it inspired you to get out and make some of your own DIY gifts. If you like these kind of videos, be sure and give me a like, subscribe, and ring that bell to be notified when I have a new video upload. Thank y'all so much for being here. I really appreciate it. And if nobody's told you today, you're awesome. See you next time. Thanks for watching.